But they were like, oh, if they had more white firefighters, this job would have been like done a hell of a lot sooner. And I'm like,
Oh, that was Scott Jennings.
I want to lean into this for a second. Like, no, 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 no. See, the reason why they have more uh, uh, diverse cast of firefighters is because, like white people, firefighters are scared and terrified of black people. So fires will just run. They'll just run.
360, 75 hours, 10-6.
Welcome everybody to democrazy. Oh my goodness gracious. Right now, I mean, I know, well, the
Great
video
Balls
title,
of Fire.
yeah, but the video title's no laughing matter, despite trying to open it up with light. I mean, oh my god, the wildfires are insane. First of all, what, really, how do I put this without sounding like a dick? Um, People are flabbergasted with how quickly the wildfire spread. They're like, how did this happen? And I'm just like, dude, it's a wildfire. You are in a mostly those houses were mostly out made out of wood. Add to that Cali is relatively speaking very dry, mostly a desert. And add huge winds, as is gonna happen. You no matter how much you prepare, you're not gonna be prepared for a wildfire, even with controlled burning, like the Cali Forest Services and Forest Services does controlled fires in order to try to prevent wildfires, because wildfires are sparked by let's say you have a piece of wood that's especially dry getting beaten by the sun. It's going to be burned. That burn is going to turn into a fire. Wind is going to pick up an ember and it spreads. That's just it. However, it must be said, apparently the Palisades thing was started by like some dude's backyard. Is that true?
So I'm not sure. Like, honestly, the thing is, like, I'm not sure. And the thing is that until they get it under control, they can't really do a proper investigation because it's like wherever's point zero, that shit is still not controlled. So they can have speculations for it, but until you get definite proof, I don't want to be on here like telling people like that's exactly what happened. But it could easily what happen. It's easy what could happen because, like you said, like a lot of people like if they haven't been to California, they only got like stereotypes of California. It's like, yeah, no, like what you see with LA, they show you LA or the Bay Area. They only show you like 10% of California that at least has some green lush stuff on there,
Mm,
while majority of it is dry, like I said, deserts, mountains.
yeah.
And because we have these mountains, we basically have we already have these set corridors that these winds can go through. And then we get these Santa Ana winds, and it's like, hey, people's like, we get it under control. It's like, yeah, bro, we're basically almost like Florida stuff. We're having like Hurricane 2 type wind gusts with fire that we don't have under control. So that wind, that ember, and it's not even like the wind's just gonna blow the ember like a couple of feet. No, like it can just blow it fucking a mile down the road where there's not a fire, and now this starts a new fire, and now you got two fires,
Yeah.
and they start multiplying that shit, and it's like by the time it started, by the time you got people out there, it's already kind of almost out of control,
Hmm.
you know. And then yeah, you're trying to break back stuff on it, and like you said, with the houses out of wood, and you can't really, even if you're trying to plan like some type of fire break or whatever, you really can't. You know, like you would literally need, if they wanted to get this under control quickly, they would need like a type of like how we had to draft like World War II and get all these people and be like, okay, everyone, now we're gonna form this barrier around this and put it back. But we don't have enough equipment for that, not enough training for that, and there's no tanks that can pump enough water in order to contain that. And that's what's frustrating. That is people are like, oh, they ran out of water stuff on there. It's like, bro, There's no system in the USA that could do this if it happened
There's no system
anywhere else.
there's no system in the world that could do something like that. I mean, like even like some people are blaming the fuck when what the fire department's budget got slashed by like what was it like 17% or some shit like that.
It was like 70%, or if people were like 17 million or whatever. But the thing was that it got reduced from last year, but they also added, because of the union in a different bill, added another 50 million. But the thing about people don't understand, it's like when you get budgets approved and stuff on there, just because you have the money doesn't mean the equipment and the training shit just automatically appear the fucking next day. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's the
once you have that, you got to start allocating it for, like, now we're gonna get this into training. Okay, well, how long training does? It takes a while, because I did fire explorers when I was younger,
Oh, really?
and yeah, it was interesting. And then, like, literally, I did it for a year, and I didn't even learn, like, maybe even like one third of the stuff I would need to do firefighting stuff on there. Like, it takes a while to train a new person, and even with the training, it's just like if you train the army stuff on there. Okay, yeah, training in hypothetical situations is great, but when you get in a real thing with like real heat and real bullets on there, shit can happen. You have rookies there making mistakes. To get equipment made enough on there, that takes a while to make equipment, to make the structure gear, to make more trucks, to make more hoses, to make more breeding apparatus.
Yeah.
That takes time to buy, to procure. So, like, you know, I don't know what they expect to happen and stuff on here. Like, this is a separate situation where you would, it'll be easier as if you got the government, like the federal government, to go around to other fire stations around the nation and have them donate some of the equipment to California. It'd be way quicker.
That's what I'm hearing they're doing, and then, but like lo and behold, of course, there's misinformation going around about this nonsense, saying like, Cali rejected like a bunch of things or whatever, and I'm here all like, what? Why would they? Dude, they wouldn't. It, mm, I mean, it's that's
It
just
doesn't make sense, right? It's
no,
like,
it doesn't.
why would equipment? Like, on face value, like, only way I would believe that is like maybe they saw equipment, and then when they did the checks, those equipment were so outdated and so used that it wasn't going to make the standards, or it wasn't safe. Like, because there's a lot of old fire countries and stuff in the nation where they don't get that much fire. Sometimes their fire station is basically staffed by volunteers.
Mhm.
They don't have the necessary budgets in those other places to keep up to date equipment. So if that's the equipment they're gonna give us, like, this is a very dangerous situation. I'd rather be like, no, dog, like, I appreciate his sentiment, but this might cause more danger of us accepting this than rejecting it.
Right? And get this, like, oh God, some of these assholes, like they're channeling all manner of of just new levels of retardness. Well, talking about like how, like there was I forget who said this, but they were like, oh, if they had more white firefighters, this job would have been like done a hell of a lot sooner. And I'm like,
Oh, that was Scott Jennings.
I want to lean into this for a second. Like, no, 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 no. See, the reason why they have more uh, uh, diverse cast of firefighters is because, like white people, firefighters are scared and terrified of black people. So fires will just run. They'll just run. I mean, that's it. That's it. See, he's jealous that there aren't enough white people in the fire department because they know white people won't make a difference. In most cases they make things worse. This is a known fact. This is a known fact. Everyone knows this. I mean, I mean, look at the Hellboy movie when they wanted to whitewash the Korean dude. And they knew it just make things worse. It's just a fact. It's, at the end of the day, oh god, you know, case in point as to how white people make things worse. Abraham Lincoln. Oh, come on. Come on. I am not the only one that finds that funny. Oh, Jesus. Catharsis at its finest. But it was such a dick move for him to basically say, "Oh, there are more white people, that there should be more white people in the fire department." What the fuck is the matter with you, man? Fire's gonna fire. This is fire.
That's what I'm saying. It's a fire. It's like white people. It's like, oh, okay. I didn't know white people can hold a hose better than other people. Like that was an inherent skill. I'm sorry, I missed that somewhere in class.
Like,
Somewhere, because like, because the thing is, like, he said it, and the thing that pissed me off the most because, like, even though I said Scott Jennings said that on CNN, he basically got his talking point because I think the first person who said it was fucking Don Jr. And the fact that we're taking any advice from Don Jr. Okay, and like, and he's like, we blame these fires on DEI. It's like, so these fires basically was like, yo, there's too many black people here, too many diversities here. Let me start this fire so I can prove that they didn't have enough white people to take me out. Like, what?
well,
Like,
why would you listen to Don Jr.? He married Kimberly Guilfoyle, who
no,
was
he
Gavin
married her and then he
Newsom's
ditched her. He
Representative.
ditched her. He ditched her for someone else. I feel bad for Greece. That now they got a fucking Mamma Mia 4 or 5 coming on.
Oh Jesus!
You know it. You know it. Cause you know this. You know that bitch has multiple daddies.
That bitch had multiple daddies. It's a, it's. Oh my god! Why would you take advice from him? He looks like the literal pictorial definition of the word failure. I mean, he looks like fail. He.
Look, his picture is the picture that TSA hands out of person who's on cocaine. Like, if you see this guy, like just how they did frisk and search with black people. This is how they do with cocaine smugglers. Like that is the stereotypical person that's on cocaine. Get them.
Wildfires, they are just insane. Like, even I was like, oh, well, I was just really, um,
He's taking it
shocked.
back, man. Especially since it's like I thought it was just a Palisade, and then when all those other fires burned popped up, and they had that I think it's the Eastern Fire. They arrested a homeless man for starting it.
Oh, that's the one that was started by a dick.
It was it was like yeah, by like it was like 3 days or 4 days after like the Palisade started going on there because I think it was like last Thursday or Friday when this Eastern Fire just popped up, and they hated it because it was like it's kind of inland random on the stuff on there, and it was one of the part of patterns where okay, the Palisade fire started, and then you had all these other small ones popped up, and that's when people are starting being like, are people saying this, starting these fires because it seems like a weird coincidence, like because it's like random places on there, and then finally I guess they had one guy that homeless guy that started the Eastern fire and
Well,
everything.
you know who the real asshole in all this is? Fucking insurance companies that have been canceling insurances left and right in that particular.
Yeah,
Um,
they've been canceling it, and they've been canceling it beforehand. That's also why some of the conspiracy was like coming up. Was like, how did they know? All of a sudden, like a week or so before this happened, they canceled this policy. And like, the thing is that it's fucked up. But we saw the trend already starting to happen because, especially in Florida, because of the hurricanes,
mhm.
that a lot of insurance people were pulling out, and people were starting to speculate. It's like, well, with all these global climate change and how more intense every year, there's some bullshit emergency stuff like this. Because I mean, last year I think we dealt with the Bay Area get huge fires there, right? So
Uh,
a
yeah, I think so. Yeah, but wait,
lot of people because that was the one where PG&E got blamed because of old
oh yeah, no,
power
that
poles
yeah,
that
that
started
was
it.
on them. They got wrecked.
They got wrecked, but it was still like at that point, people were starting to see whiting on the wall or whatever because the insurance companies were already starting to do this Florida. And it's like in California, it's not so much earthquakes, but it's always fire because there's always fires every year.
Yeah,
And lately there's been fires that's just been really devastating.
yeah,
And like the past 3 or 4 years, like every year, a very devastating fire
yeah.
that takes several days for them to control. So you can see, like, okay, they're gonna start doing this shit. And I thought the most sensible thing was for at least while the Biden was in the administration would have been like we needed to get a fucking bill on this now, like something about this, and it could have easily been bipartisan because it wouldn't have just been California. It would have been mainly your first client would have been protecting Florida, which is a major Republican hole. And I would have found it weird for Republicans to reject that, knowing they wanted Florida. And California would have got on the back end for this fire stuff on there. But they didn't do anything. Although they're doing stuff now, but it's kind of a little after the fact,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm on it. Even if they're doing it now, I say that you better take that with like a huge grain of salt.
Yeah, it's a huge great assault because it's like they had to do it now. But honestly, this is the waning wait days of this administration. Trump is a mercurious fellow. Like he'll say one thing one day, change something the next day. Especially if Musk says something on X because he's apparently our president now.
Yeah, what is up with? Oh, once I want to touch that topic, I because I just want to punch him in the face. Just I really want to punch Elon Musk in the face. Him, Zuckerberg, they have done some stupid shit on their platforms. Zuckerberg, especially considering how he basically said he's done trying to fix misinformation and he's done with what's that other policy? Uh, DEI, DEI
Yeah,
policy.
DEI and stuff on there. He got rid of the board, all that kind of shit on there. And it's just like, and he's giving money to Trump and stuff on there. And it's like, yeah, we want more H-1B visas where we're going to hire more brown people from India. I'm like, but isn't that diversity? EI? It's like, no, that's different because this H-1B visas. Like, eh, it's just it's kind of frustrating because it's like, wasn't the original DEI, which is the worst part, was these white boys that only hired their friends and buddy from a golf course that had basically no skills or understanding of the position, yet they've been made middle managers, top managers. They have no idea, and they basically push all the work onto a person below them
Mhm.
that does everything, but yet they get all the money and they're out here acting like they're doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's not just that because it's weird. When I was in when I was actually in New York with my sis, she's talking to me about like how like they're hiring more people from abroad because it's cheaper than to hire someone in the states. Because even her, like, even she sees like a bunch of other medical doctors that are either from like India, Philippines, West Africa, blah 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 blah, and she's just all like, yeah, it's it's just like that here and like a ton of other places. I'm like, really? Even in Kansas? Because she used to live in Kansas, and she's like, yeah, there were people in Kansas, and I'm just like, that's so fucking wild. I mean, you could get away with something like that in that particular part because she was in Junction City, Kansas, and for those who don't know, Junction City is a military town. So like you get every color of the rainbow there, like Spanish, Chinese, you name it, they're in there because uh, military base is like literally right there too. It's like a 5 minute. It was like a 5-10 minute drive from her old spot before she moved to Endwell. And yeah, I was just like, fucking, what is okay? That's huh. Didn't think it. Think that I didn't think they just reach out because it was cheaper. I thought they'd actually just get here on a visa, and that's like one of the biggest things that Trump said he wasn't okay with, but is all of a sudden okay with it. And there was like this weird MAGA civil war before the fire spread and made everybody just shut up and like point and laugh at California, because the fires just spread so bad, and most of those Republican idiots, they fucking hate Cali because it's so Democrat. So take from that what you will, and they're just pointing and laughing. And anyway, I'm done ranting. So
Well, they're pointing laughing, but it makes no sense because California has more Republicans in it than the whole state of Iowa.
yeah, but like the electoral college thing, dude. That's
Yeah, I guess electoral college thing, but it's also, dude, California is like the fifth largest economy in the world. California and most of these blue states subsidize so much of these red states. That's why it pisses me off so much because, like, these people over here, they're like, we're America. We're doing all this other shit. But it's like, you guys are welfare queens, but it's like, you guys are the majority people on welfare. You guys get the majority of the money from us that you hate. And it's just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, they're always talking about like seceding. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's just secede. Let's just secede. And after 10 years, come back to the table and say, you guys can give us your essay of what did you learn? You learned that you guys aren't shit. Like,
Texas is
that's the thing.
basically
It's because they wasted stuff on Texas, dude. The thing about Texas is they're not talking about the cool about California. It's like, dude, Texas lost like 1.5 million acres of fires last year. Texas, so many people are going there because they think it's because of this land of tax shelters and all this shit with Greg Abbott that they are literally using up all the water. They're gonna run out of water for the shit on there. So soon they're gonna have droughts. They're lately been getting these freezing temperatures. That's gonna keep happening. They're also gonna get those hot summers where they're gonna get a fucking fire. They also part of them is in a tornado alley shit. They're gonna have all these fucking emergencies. And you know what's gonna happen when all that happens? Us Californians are not gonna be like, haha, burn all this shit. Maybe it was DEI that burned your shit on there. No, we're gonna send people to help you guys. But you guys are not gonna say shit
mm-hmm.
back. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's
and the worst part is that if Trump gets his way with adding Canada for a 51st state, that's not going to help. Remember Canada, like almost. Remember the huge fires in Canada last year?
oh yeah.
Like, so, like, we'll just have that issue too. And then you see how we deal with this shit down here. Like,
What is his fixation on Greenland? What the
I
fuck
don't
is his?
know. I feel like he's fucking from Vinland Saga, the anime, bro. Because he's so obsessed with Greenland, man.
Why does he want Greenland so badly? I mean, it's what is? Does he think it's green? I mean, is that right? Is that? I mean,
With money,
I made a mock interview with Trump. I don't even think I included that clip. I think it was like in the extras, and the reporter asked, he's like, Mr. Trump, why do you want to buy Greenland so badly? Because it's green, and that's it. That's it. It has to be because he thinks it's green. It has to. There is no. What the fuck? I mean, does Greenland have natural resources? Yes, I think it has like some really good rare earth materials.
it
But
has rare earth materials and a good methane deposit for natural gas.
yeah, so do we. So does the
I
U.S.
know we do, but I guess it's more. I'm just saying, like, that's extra on it.
What the fuck does he? It has to be because he thinks it's green. That's
Well, it's green. No, he's definitely not thinking of like all the extra natural resources and all that shit. He's definitely thinking like it's green. The whole reason they call it that back in the day was to trick people like him who are too dumb to figure out that shit is basically ice and shit on there. And also, I just think he wants to put his name as Big Trumpland. He just wants a giant continent that he can call himself. and put another Trump resort there, and then force people who wants to come visit him as president to go stay like to stay at this Greenland Trump resort, and he thinks he's gonna turn that whole thing into a golf course somehow.
I'm gonna. You're giving me ideas for the next presidential experience with that, especially because I have been like thinking about what the next Trump rant should be, and it's a toss up between uh, the newest Trump products to him just ranting about why he hates Melania. But like at the end of the day, I'm leaning more towards Greenland now. But I'll see where that unscripted rant goes. For those who don't know, the presidential experience it's not just about Biden. It was never like gonna be about Biden. I was gonna keep going with the Biden experience because I was thinking, okay, maybe he'll win re-election, and then he dropped out and all that nonsense. So, um, um, like I was hoping to do a Kamala rant, but like we all know who won. I mean, he didn't just win; he crushed. Oh, I fucking hate admitting it. He crushed it, winning the popular vote, the swing states, and one of the reasons why is a lot of men who voted for Trump just felt like the future was just passing them by and they were getting left behind because of all the female empowerment or bullshit like that. And okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Point is, like now that he's back in office, I can make up all these. They have to be unscripted 1 minute rants about a specific topic. Adam Rose is currently animating the newest um, presidential experience involving Trump, and it's going to be hilarious. But the point that I'm trying to make is I might just lean in on the Greenland stuff. But like my God, it's that and the Panama Canal and
Dude,
Canada.
Panama Canal, Gulf of Mexico, Canada.
It makes it's let Jesus. It's
It strategically makes no fucking sense. This is
no.
the same. This is the same shit that fucking was it Louis the short guy from France, Napoleon, when he bought all that land before we bought it from the Louisiana Purchase. He bought all that land in the United States. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna put this base here, do all this shit. Oh shit! It turns out that's a stretch too far, and they gotta sell at a discount. That's the same exact shit. We're gonna buy Panama, which okay, if even if we control that territory, right?
Yeah.
Now we gotta send forces down there to protect those interests. That's not even connected to us. So you know how much money it's gonna cost to keep resupplying and sending people down there? Changing the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of Trump or America. Why?
Ugh.
Literally, just having a name on this to try to do this to change this and get other people to do this, the water and shit hasn't changed. There is no point in spending energy on this.
Mm-mm.
Adopting Canada when you already see Canada's going down the tubes, that almost like 50 or 60% of Canada in the Great White North and the Yukon is basically unfucking tenable because of the wildlife and everything. What's the point of having that? Greenland, he says, is originally, I think he said it was like, it was a great for the military to stop Russia. I thought you were friends with Russia. I thought you were friends with Putin. That's what you kept saying. I'm friends with Putin. I can start this UK war because Putin's my boy. So then why do we need Greenland? Like,
It's all just so infuriating as to what the times
and
we're
the thing
living in, and it's just really. Uh,
and the thing is that you know what? I'm not really that mad at Trump. Trump's gonna Trump. That's his nature. Like it's like the scorpion in the toe. He's gonna sting you shit on that. What I'm mad about is all the people around him that supposedly went to Harvard and Yale. That's all like good idea. They're the real assholes
yeah.
in this shit because you're always gonna have one guy that just says out crazy shit. What's the job of other sane people around them supposed to be like? You're supposed to clown them out of that idea. You always had a boy that said some crazy out of pocket shit, and
Mm-hmm.
what you do, you shut that shit down by clowning them, and they shut that shit down. You don't say that's a good idea. Let's actually do that.
And how dare you say like Well, yeah, because you have Sir Couchfucker, who's been who's he is a walking
Dude, I haven't heard of him.
stupid
I haven't
shit.
heard of him since the couch and the cat lady shit. Has he said anything? I haven't heard him say one fucking word.
She's probably dead and replaced with a body double like Melania, but then again, Melania has been replaced by a body triple apparently, or some shit like that. It's
Dude, Melania has been. This is like 1,000 something something
mhm.
version of Melania. Melania's been gone.
Yeah, yes, Melania's been dead. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sir Couchfucker is dead and replaced with a body double. I mean, you can't. There is no coming back. There's no keeping a guy around after you haven't publicly denied the fact that you fucked a couch. I mean, like he had to have killed him and replaced him with a body double. Like that's it. And like he always has the body double on mute. Like that's just he has to be he is on mute. I have not heard a damn thing from Vance. Oh wait, no, I take that back. I think he did do an interview. Shit.
Dude,
but that doesn't.
honestly, Vance was fucked ever since people found out that he has an Indian wife with Indian children.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He's an Indian fucker. Oh,
Yeah, no one knew about that until he dropped his hat into a vice president ring. Beforehand, he was this bloated white guy who got his money off of selling his hillbilly elegy, which he was never a hillbilly and shit on there. So he's just basically a phony. And no one knew anything about him until he started this VP shit. And then he started talking about single cat ladies, and people found out that he fucked a couch. That's when people found out that he's actually married to an Indian woman with Indian kids. Because honestly, I didn't even know that until this happened and stuff on there. And then people who was in MAGA finally found out, and it's like, ugh. But they're like, well, whatever. It's all about Trump. It's like they learned. The thing is, they learned last time that Pence, their VP, wasn't shit. So they there was like, whatever. VP doesn't fucking matter. It's all about Trump, you know. But yeah, he's basically been sidelined because that's why people didn't like Nikki Haley, Indian. People didn't like Vivek, Indian. Like, but yet, but yet, all these Indians keep fucking coming, and they're all like, "Ooh, yeah, we got this caste system here. We hate our darkies too. Let me get with you, whiteys." And whitey's like, "No, bro, slow your roll, short round."
All your roll short. I'm sorry. Like every time I hear, I know it's Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm still gonna call him Raman Soiree because it just fits. It honestly just fits.
Dude, this guy is just the worst. This guy has a bleaching problem. This guy is the Indian Michael Jackson.
Yo, yeah, don't worry, he'll
Like, if you look at his old pictures and shit on there, he got a nose job for sure.
he did.
Yeah, no, like if you look at his old, like when they show him when he was like he put like back when he went to a college here, I don't know, Harvard or one of Ivy League stuff on there, his nose job and skin color compared to now changed. It's just like fucking Khloe Kardashian keep trying to be like, hey, I'm not OJ Simpson's daughter. Like, bro, you are.
Bro,
Like, accept it.
oh my god, look, I
Accept it. And Chloe's out here bad mouthing this other shit while you guys aren't giving any money. You're all asking for donations and shit, do all this shit. Like, fuck the Kardashians, fuck Chloe.
fuck Chloe. Okay. On that note, because we really should come we should be on time for demo crazy. There you go. And there because we have to start slab lounging soonish. Anyway, that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in to Demo Crazy. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy New Year to everyone. Stay safe if you're in the LA area. Listen to those evacuation orders. They tell you to get out. Don't be a dumbass. Just get the fuck out because there's And I mean, I know it's been said and done. Thoughts and prayers to anybody. I mean, like it's the death toll's already at 16, and it's that number's only going to get higher. So
And
be
also, please take your pets with you.
oh
Like
yeah,
they're your family too, man.
yeah,
Like that's fucked up.
yes it is. You take care, everybody, and later on, I guess, thoughts and prayers.